Good evening. I'm Dallas Grove for the League of Women Voters. Welcome to Facts and Issues. Earth Day is coming up, and one community, Ocean Township, has a very special program, as well as some of the other programs that are going on throughout our county. And I'd like to introduce my guest tonight to talk about what's being done in and around our vicinity. First, we have Diane Black, who is the educational specialist for Monmouth County Office of Recycling. Diane's been our guest before and has a lot to share with us, as well as Barbara Hoelle, who is on the Ocean Township Clean Communities Advisory Committee, and we'll find out what that is. And with her on that committee is Grace Bruno. Grace, tell us, how did that committee get started? What was the genesis of that, and how do you keep it going?
Well, for the past couple of years, Ocean Township has had clean sweep days where we get the community involved to go and pick up litter that is on our highways and our streets. After the spring cleanup of 1990, letters were sent out from the township asking for anyone interested in participating on a committee to please come to a meeting at Town Hall, which we all did. The interesting thing is we have scouts involved. We have a couple of students on the committee. We have a couple of teachers, so we are bringing information to the schools. We have some businessmen. Rebecca Riley from our council acts as our liaison from our committee to the council. Plus, we have a lot of interested residents on the committee.
So the idea is, in and around Earth Day, you go out, say, with these students, and you collect the litter that accumulates in a community. Is that how it works?
April 20th, we're having sweeps days, and it's not just students, it's anybody in the town who's interested in doing it. And we have a lot of adults. A lot of families come out with their children, and it's a great way to introduce the children to this issue, because you catch them when they're young, and when they grow up, they won't be throwing garbage out of their cars. So Sweeps Day is going to be a big thing this year. And this year, the students in the high school, it's the Wildlife Club, and a couple of the other clubs are working on getting this into the schools. So we expect to have a big turnout from the high school students this year.
Diane, let me ask you if litter is a big problem in Monmouth County. We tend to think of this as a very clean, near the ocean, suburban kind of thing. Have we got a bad litter problem?
Litter is pervasive, and a lot of the complaints you hear from people about the ocean being dirty, that's because they threw that thing in the street near their house, it went down to the storm drain, it went down to the ocean, and it's all washing right back in. So you can't blame New York, which is what everybody's... It's New York.
We like to say that, don't
right,
we? Yeah.
To tie this in, the county has a Clean Communities program as well, and there are communities, there are 39 out of the 53 communities in Monmouth County have Clean Communities programs. And some of the activities that the county's involved with this weekend, there's 1,700 Girl Scouts from several counties are going out to clean up, and our County Clean Communities coordinator will be part of that, supplying a truck and supplies for them. And also Clearwater, which is the Friends of Clearwater, which is an environmental group, is going out to clean up the Bayshore Trail. So there are a lot of other communities that are doing the kinds of things that are being done in Ocean Township, and it really makes a difference, especially just before the summer season, where we're all going to go out there and try and enjoy this beach and the environment.
One of the pieces of information that I got from the Department of Environmental Protection from the Clean Communities program that funds the program that you have. You can apply and get some funds and get some help for that.
We have applied for a grant, which we have received. We have almost $42,000 that was awarded to Ocean Township to be used in our Clean Communities Advisory Committee.
And with that, you conduct 2 of these a year and conduct an education program as well.
Right, that's part of it, right.
One of the things it mentions in here is, where does litter come from? And it doesn't just happen, does it? First thing it says is people create litter, you know? It's people activities. How do the people feel that have participated in this in the past about going up and picking up other people's garbage?
The people who do this are committed. They're people who really want to clean up. It's the people who throw the trash that we've got to get to. And short of stopping them from doing it, I think the best way is, again, education with the children. And one of the things that we did in September, we had a logo and slogan contest. And the children
In the school system.
In the school system, and the children in all the Ocean Township schools participated. We had
over 500 we had participating.
Yeah.
And I have, we took the 3 winning slogans and we made it into one logo, and that we're going to be making bumper stickers and decals, and we're going to put these on trash receptacles in our town, in the parks and on the streets, wherever we need trash.
Make the motion to clean up Ocean.
It will be in color also. It's only in black and white now, but it will be in
Yeah.
color. So we took this from the 3 winning posters from the children.
Another thing it mentions here is why do people litter? And they say that people tend to litter when they think someone else is going to clean it up. And I guess they think that road crews very often have nothing much to do but to clean up things. I know one of the things that's personally offensive to me is to see the contents of an ashtray from a car dumped in a parking lot. That is really offensive. When an area is already littered, that's another time when people tend to litter.
Yes.
So what you're saying here about people being educated not to litter would also, on its way, lead other people perhaps not to. They tend not to throw things. Except on my lawn. I think that I am somewhere equidistant between a Burger King and a McDonald's.
Oh, I'm between 2 Burger Kings.
Are you really? There seems to be an inordinate amount of that type of litter.
We live in a throwaway society. We have been educated since the 50s to throw things away. Use it once, throw it away. And to people, away means out of their car, out of their pockets, off their person. And they don't think about what it looks like to all of us. We're throwing garbage into our own world. We're living in the garbage.
And the thing, Diane, too, is that many of the things that with the garbage would pass in our area is into the streams that flow to the ocean, because we just have so many waterways in our area. So
And
that's particularly awful too.
Yes, and as a recycling coordinator, many of those materials could be recycled. Many of the containers, the aluminum cans, for instance, people drink a soda, a beer, and out it goes. And I assume, of course, that you're recycling the materials that are recyclable from the pickup.
This is an aside, but my husband and I have a little sunfish, and we go out on Deal Lake in the summer and troll for garbage. I lean over the side, and I pick the garbage up, and we bring it home, and we recycle what can be recycled. And it's quite a job. I mean, there is a lot of it out there.
I spoke to someone who was in your cleanup last year, and she said she was amazed by the number of plastic straws and cigarette filters that she picked up. And I guess that's an annoying thing. They're so tiny, and yet they're pervasive. They're all over.
People throw cigarettes out, and I don't think they think about it dirtying anything, because it's so little, and it'll burn up, and they don't think about the end.
Maybe they think the end, the filter is biodegradable. Apparently it is not.
Yeah, no.
It stays.
I remember the township manager last year had something of a press story that told about some of the very unusual things that were also found, and some of them are almost comical to think that people would even think of throwing personal items out a window. They do. Unmentionable, so to speak.
Or one shoe.
Really?
Or one shoe.
Yeah, how does somebody miss a shoe?
Some of the other things that we're doing is we're trying to get the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts to paint little fish decal on all the storm drains to make people aware that anything that is in the gutter and goes down the storm drains will eventually end up into the waterways, be it the ocean, whatever. Like she said, you go down to the beach and you think these dirty people, but we are the people that are, not we, but the public is the one that is putting those things in there.
So, Diane, this is a pretty active community.
Yes.
It's taking a lot.
We're
That
also
was
doing
started by
Adopt a
Clean
Spot,
Ocean
where
Action.
we're going to have spots or parks or whatever where groups are going to be responsible for maintaining the cleanup of those spots, like Deal Tessite and some of our local parks. We're going to post signs who is maintaining those spots.
Just at your mention of Deal Tessite, I'd like to say that the League of Women Voters on right following your Clean Sweep Day on Saturday at 12 o'clock. We'll conduct a tour through DL Test Site, which is a regional facility because it was bought with Greenacre funds, so that people can then, after going through trash, can then just get in touch with nature.
Oh, that's
it's
wonderful.
a beautiful spot back
Yes,
there.
it is.
And to mention, too, just for a little plug for the Environmental Commission, to which I also belong, that we'll be distributing tree seedlings to everyone who participates.
What kind of tree
So if people will, well, we're not sure yet, but they will be about that large, and they
That's
will be
great.
wrapped and ready for them to be planted at their own home or
That's
at a
great.
tree nursery, which we're going to establish at Deal Test Site. So
really?
there's those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of gets back to where people don't litter if they have some kind of community pride.
That's
that
true.
was
When
another
you come
thing
out
they
to the
pointed.
Clean Sweep Day, you just really get involved with what you're doing, and it really does give you community pride. It really does.
Participation. You become part of what's going
Right.
on, and you care more.
Speaking of participation, what kind of participation have you had in the past, in numbers?
Oh, maybe 100.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
We're expecting a large turnout this time because the high school has really gotten involved with all the local clubs in their school, the Key Club, the Wildlife Club, National Honor Society, and the students have really taken
Yeah.
this thing and really worked very hard on it, and they've given it a lot of time, and I think we're going to have a good turnout.
So the spirit that appeared to be dead in the 80s, where people were very self-serving and me first kind of thing, is kind of changing around.
Right.
You
I
do
hope
feel
so.
you're beginning to
Yes.
experience the
Absolutely.
concern for the
Yeah,
environment,
absolutely.
even at the school level.
Excuse me, I really think Earth Day last year woke a lot of people up, not just in our community, but all over. It seems since then there's been an ongoing thing in the media.
I think
everywhere.
that's true. With
Yeah.
recycling, we get more and more calls in the county offices every day. People are looking for more things to do.
Speaking of the county office, Diane, I understand that John Minton in your office,
Yes.
who's the Clean Communities Coordinator, is available for questions and assistance for municipalities who
Right.
want to have cleanups, that he will provide through the
Yes.
county the trucks or whatever
Gloves,
is necessary, gloves.
The little orange vest that you need if you're working near roadways. Each community that has a program, you work through them if you can, but if they need additional help, we have a truck and we will provide that service. So people should give us a call if they want to do, especially if they're doing an organizational one. For instance, if you're trying to clean up Deal Lake and it involves several towns, instead of having to do all the coordination yourselves, you might call us and we would help to provide the overall coordination.
Wonderful.
And actually take it all to the landfill for you.
I'll keep your number. I'll put
Absolutely,
your
and I
number in
tell
my
people
phone.
that.
Let's just share some information.
Yes, yes.
All right, I would like to then thank my guests, Barbara Hoelle, Grace Bruno, and Diane Black, for sharing all your information with us and with each other. And good luck on Clean Sweep Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night.